Hey guys, this is Stu from Stuart Scale Models, and I suppose technically speaking this really is my first update on my entry into the 75th anniversary Tiger 1 group build hosted by Adam Mann and Evan McCallum, or as we all know him, Panzermeister 36. Um, it's sorry, I keep getting distracted with messages. This is around about my ninth attempt to get this video made. I've had messages, I've got things wrong in this video, or suddenly the camera's cut out. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a trialing morning. And not only that, I've also put my back out. Not good news. Basically, I woke up Wednesday morning in absolute agony around about 3 o'clock and thought, oh crikey, what have I done? So did the necessary, just put some deep heat in and went back to bed and took some paracetamol. But and I slept most of Wednesday as it was my day off. And then thought, well, I'll see how I am the next morning, because I'm lo and behold, next morning it was no good. I was absolutely crippled again yesterday morning. So I made an appointment to go down the doctor's. Got a doctor's appointment for about 9:20, and yeah, lo and behold, I've been diagnosed with my back in spasm. So it's not been the best of weeks. So I'm now signed off work until next Friday. Doctor has given me some physio exercises to do, and I've just got to take some painkillers 3 times a day and just basically generally rest. So in one respect, it's not a good thing, but in another respect, in regards to my hobby, it's a good thing, because basically I can now devote a little bit more spare time to this project. Now, news on the Hunter. Bad news is, until I get a little mini saw in, I won't be able to proceed with a build on that. So that one is now become a little bit of a shelf queen. I know some of you guys might be disappointed, but I've not only had, it's not only that, but I've had major fit issues with the fit of the kit, and the instructions are very poorly put together because there are mistakes. So what with that and not having anything to get the resin off their bricks, that project is on hold until further notice. So Dad, if you're watching up there, sorry. Because it was going to be a tribute build to my dad. So until I get that rectified, that project is on hold. So I'm focusing mainly on this one. And I have learned one or two things actually, because the illustration on here is incorrect. On this particular tiger, for the period I'm depicting, if you notice on the one beside it on Tiger 1, you've got little notches for the side skirts. On this one you don't have it. It could be a process of where they were gradually upgrading them during the period, I don't know. But I was informed by David Bearden that if I was going to put exhaust shrouds on the back, that was incorrect. So he's an official researcher of Dragon, so he knows what he's talking about. So I've actually got around this, and to prove a point, I've got this book as a form of research, which is most helpful. It's called Tiger 1 in Action, 1942 to 45, and it's written by Jean Restain. Now, it's not cheap, because I think I paid £65 to get this book. There has been 2 further volumes come out, although they've only actually advertised Tiger 1 in Action 3. I've not seen Tiger 1 in Action 2. So, I don't know. But they do have a chapter on the 502nd Battalion with the initial Tiger during that period. And to prove a point, on the illustration here for Tiger 3, you've got exhaust shrouds. Now, in the kit, it depicts that they didn't have exhaust shrouds. It depends on the period, I suppose, but if you look at this photograph of the initial, You've actually got the side points here for the side skirts, and at the back you've got the exhaust shrouds. So, and if you notice, there is no spare tracks on the frontal armour. So that's the way I'm going to depict the kit. And to prove a point, here's another photograph of an issue of the 502nd, which you can see here. And to back that up, I've got a photograph of the period concerned, and if you notice in this one, Tiger 4, its sister Tiger, you've got the little notches here for the side skirts going along the side armour there. So, and also on Tiger 1 you can see it as well with the camo. So there you go, that proves a point. So that is the basis of the kit. I'm going to make it during the latter period when they were getting ready to put the side skirts on them. I think it was where they were going to fail. I think I may be wrong. I think a lot of them went back to the factory to be modified into the early production. So I could be wrong, I don't know. So David, if I'm wrong, correct me on that, my friend. But yeah, so without further ado, I'll show you the progress I've made so far. And here it is. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I had some fun and games earlier. I'm going to put that there and bring the whole of the Tiger around there so that you guys can see. Let's just adjust the camera a little bit. Oh, stay still. Stay. Playing silly buggers again. Right, hang on. Bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to sort this camera out. I've been having fun and games all day. Now you're going to stay still. Yeah, there we go. Right. If you'll just bear with me, I'm trying to get rid of a message at the moment. There we go. So, as you can see here, I've actually put on some spare side armour from some spares I had of Tigers from my previous Tiger kits. And they had the side points here for the side skirts. Now, if you notice, these are a little bit out of alignment. The reason for that is when I actually put this plate over the original one, I added some sprue at the side here just to block it out a little bit, and some thin sprue at the back here to fill the gap. And I did that on both sides. The hull basically is now complete, although I've knocked one of the side clamps here for the engine grille that's gone, so I'm going to have to look in my spares to find that one. I knocked that one off, so my fault. Anyway, and I've done that there to make it more accurate. If you're wondering what these little pit marks are, that is just basically battle damage, because more often than not shells would just bounce off this armour, and obviously you get impact marks. And I actually got this technique off a fellow modeller's video. In fact, Mr. Mike Cohen, he recently did a video on how he does battle damage. Yeah, because I've actually got a little drill here which I used, a little burring tool, and just basically went in at the sides and the front armour and the glacis, just basically to depict battle damage, as it were. And I'll be doing the same on the turret as and when that's built. The actual construction of the kit itself is superb. I really am enjoying it. It is seeming a lot easier because obviously this is my third Dragon Tiger, so I'm getting more into the build, as it were, and I know what to expect. So I think the more Tigers you get under your belt, the more experience and the more, well, let's say confident you get with the builds. So, and if you notice, unlike the other versions, the mid, the late and the early, you've got these front mud guards here with a slightly grille effect. This is etched brass, which again is another learning process I'm using, because you've got lots of little etched brass details on this. One or two unfortunately I lost, which I've replaced with sprue, which you can see here on the machine gun. And I've actually got to replace two little bits at the front here where the tracks are. But as I say, I've depicted the battle damage on the front, and on the back here, on the back plate, in various parts of it, because these things did get hit and dinked and God knows what in the field. And I've also done it with the rear mud guards as well. I've used this tool and just gone in, depicting where it was bent or dinked, because these things, they used to knock them and get hit everywhere, including exhaust shrouds. I've done those as well, and I want to thank a fellow YouTube modeler for sending these in. I did have two gentlemen, one by the name of Mr. Mark Hughes, but unfortunately, Mark, those ones didn't fit. So I'm going to keep those in my spare stash for another build. So again, thank you, Mark. Appreciate that, my friend. And a gentleman who is just trying to have a chat with me on this video, but I will get back to him presently, is Mr. Rick Connell, who lives over in the States. He's just actually getting into armour. He's actually building a Tiger at the moment. I think it's one of his entries, but he doesn't have a YouTube channel at the moment. He is thinking of a name of a YouTube channel, but I'm not going to disclose that because that is Rick's decision. But Rick, if you're watching, bud, I would certainly encourage you to get your YouTube channel up and going running, because we would love to see your work. And I have to say, I've seen one or two of Rick's builds, and they are quite impressive. So yeah, definitely get on there, get yourself a Google account, and then from there on in you can actually get yourself a YouTube account up and running. Okay, quite simple. You just do the video off your phone or your video cam, upload it via your PC or upload it onto your YouTube app, and Bob's your uncle. There you go. That's how I do it. So Rick, thank you very kindly for sending those over to me. He actually paid the postage, but he wouldn't let me pay him back. So he's a scholar and a gent. So again, Rick, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. And as you can see here, I've damaged these up as though they've got bent and shot to hell. Obviously right here, because these are only made of, I think, a thin aluminium sheet, I think, or thin steel. And they would get distorted with the heat of the exhaust as well, which I've tried to depict. So there you go. Now, it was also my first experience at actually using metal tow cables, tow track cables as well. Yeah, that was quite a challenge, but I got there. Trying to judge the amount of steel cable, because it was all rolled up in a sort of a ball, as it were, when this kit was packed. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It's all a learning curve, and it's all an experience for me, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, which is actually really giving my mojo a real boost. Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this build. I mean, the next process I'm going to do is obviously build up the turret. I'm not sure if I'm going to use a metal barrel, because the actual barrel comes in one piece on this kit, but it does have a spring for the recoil, so I might have a crack at that. I was going to use a RB Metals metal barrel, using an early version Tiger barrel, but I think I am going to use the kit's barrel on this, actually, as it's all one piece, and save that for a later build. I mean, I've got the nearest colour for the interior, which is to me as wooden deck tan. It was like a sort of a cream colour, so I'll possibly use that as the interior, or the buff, actually. I know Vallejo do it, but I've heard bad things about Vallejo pants, that they tend to clog your airbrush up, so I won't be using those. So that really is it, guys. I mean, this is as far as I've got. I mean, I've got the tracks built, I've got the wheels all built up, as you can see here. I've got the figures built up. They're all ready to be primed and they're filled. But I'm mainly working on the construction of this. Once that's done, I'll do you another video and give you my thoughts on the actual build process of this kit in general. And then from then on in, I'll do the painting, the priming, the weathering, and possibly get the base built up. So I'm going to be using an old picture frame which I got for I think about £2 at the old clearance store before the old store closed. So that was a bit of a bargain. So there you go. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. As I say, this is as far as I've got on the build so far. Whilst I'm off, as I say, I will do a little bit more on this. When I'll post a video up, I'm not sure, because obviously with my work schedule, I'm doing shift patterns now. I'm hoping to be back on Friday at work. And then get into the swing of things, you know, new routine, new shifts. It has been quite challenging and a bit tiring, but I'm sure I'm going to adjust. Yeah, it's like everything new. It's just getting used to it and getting into it, you know. But I will devote my time to my hobby, so don't worry if you don't see videos that often as I've been doing. I might do a few whilst I'm off. But as I say, the next one I'll do on this Tiger, I will do once it's fully built. Okay. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. So until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.